It's not a bad view, I don't think. It's okay. Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Why does my poop look weird? As you may have guessed, today's video is going to be about baby Hayden's birth story. Oh, I just feel like that's so dumb. Hello you guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you are watching this video, then I am guessing you are hoping to hear about baby Hayden's birth story, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Hello you guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today's video is going to be the birth story of this little guy right here, and we're just so thrilled that he's finally here. He's finally a part of the family. Yeah, so I might as well just jump right in. If you've been following us for a while, you might have already seen our video from earlier this week, and I posted about everything we did to try and get this kid here. He did not want to come out until it was his decision, and I don't blame him for that. But that's also part of this story, kind of. Hayden was due on July 2nd, and that's pretty much the 4th of July. Everybody has days off around that time, so Tim's family likes to come, and we had 2 groups of family members coming this year. And I really was kind of hoping that Hayden would be born the Friday before his due date, which was like June something, I don't know, June 29th, I think. And we were really hoping that he would be here early so that everybody got a chance to meet him, and we could be at home healing and resting and enjoying family. But that was not on his agenda. So Tim's first brother came, and we had a great time with them and their family. And July 2nd came, no baby. July 3rd came, still no baby. July 4th came, no baby. And on July 5th, Tim had to go down to the cities to go pick up his other brother from the airport, and that's about a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive, kind of depends on traffic. We really wanted baby to be born so that we could feel comfortable with Tim leaving, or he wasn't born, like I wasn't going into labor that day, so that we could all feel comfortable about him leaving. And he did not show up on the 5th either. So we were kind of thankful for that, since he wasn't born on the 2nd, the 3rd, or the 4th. So we were kind of thankful that we weren't stuck in the hospital on that day, so that Tim could go get his brother and his little family from the airport. But when they got back, we had a great time enjoying them as well. We stayed up a little later than usual, put the kids to bed, got home, put the kids to bed, stayed up a little later than usual, and I always regret that, you know, like you stay up late and then that's when you don't get the good sleep that you need, especially before you go into labor. At about 1:30 in the morning, I woke up and had to go to the bathroom, so I went to the bathroom, and then I just could not fall asleep again. And I was laying there, and about 15 minutes later, I felt a contraction. And I'd kind of been feeling them about that time, kind of that whole week, from like Friday, yeah, the week before Friday, so the 29th. Every single night I'd wake up and feel a few contractions, and then that was it. It would go away. I'd fall back to sleep again. or I'd feel them right before I fell asleep, but then of course I'd fall asleep. So obviously baby wasn't coming any of those days. So I didn't really hold my breath a whole lot. The Thursday night I was on my pregnancy app that I have, and I saw on there that it said that I was 40 weeks and 6 days, and Harper and Hudson both were born 40 weeks and 7 days. So I had texted my mom and I was like, tonight's the night, we're going in, LOL. And I sent her a screenshot of the app, and we just kind of laughed about it, and I was like, better make sure you're showered up and that kind of stuff. And we just kind of giggled and we're like, haha, whatever, we'll see if it actually happens or not. So at about 1:45 when I started feeling contractions, I was like, here it goes again. Wouldn't it be funny if I actually was in labor? And then about 5 minutes later I felt another one. 5 minutes later another one, and I was like, I should probably write these down. So I pulled out my phone and wrote down the times and timing them, and it was about 5 minutes apart. And about a half hour later I was still having contractions. I was like, okay, I can see how this is going, and I was just reading on my phone. An hour later, they were still 5 minutes apart. I decided to text my mom, tell Tim, and just say, hey, I've been having contractions for an hour. You're now on standby. I'll let you know when it's time to go into the hospital. So I got up and took a shower. During my shower, I had about 4 or 5 contractions, and I don't take very long showers. I take like 10-minute showers max. 10-minute showers max. And I was like, that's probably not so good, because that means they're like 2 to 4 minutes apart. And hopped out of the shower and I was like, well, maybe just from the warm water. That's just what kind of made them go so quickly. And I went and started folding some laundry from the dryer, and I needed a clean bra and, you know, that kind of stuff, whatever. So I'm folding laundry, and they continue to be 2 minutes apart. So I text my mom again and say, hey, they're 2 to 4 minutes apart. You might want to get ready and come over here. I called the nurse hotline at the hospital, and I was like, I've done this before, but I've never had them 2 minutes apart. They still don't feel very strong, and I've only been having contractions for an hour and a half now. When do you think I should go into the hospital? My water hasn't broke yet. And the lady was like, you might want to just come in. Okay. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, we decide to head to the hospital. Everybody's ready. We've got our bags packed. Tim's up. He's ready to go. My mom's over. She's showered and ready to go. And we get in the car, and my mom says, I'm out of gas. Her light came on as she was coming to my house. So I was like, well, now we have to stop and get gas. Mom was like, you better not have this baby in the car. And I was like, I don't think I will. It's not going that fast. Thankfully it wasn't. So we stopped and got gas, and we made it to the hospital at about 4:30 in the morning. We get all checked in. That's probably by 5 o'clock in the morning. They check me, and I am at a 2 or a 3. I was like, okay, great, this is gonna take forever. I mean, granted, I had only been in labor for 4 hours, I guess, essentially. So that's not bad. All of the contractions were still very manageable. I could talk through them, just breathing through them, just relaxing. It was early. I didn't want any pain meds yet. The nurse was very, very nice. Shift changes at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So at about 7 they came in and checked on us again. Got to meet the new nurse, and she was also very, very nice. And we just kind of kept doing our thing. I kept resting in the bed because I was tired. I probably only got like 2 hours of sleep. I knew I was going to have a long day ahead of me, which I did. They checked me again at about 8, and I was only at they said a 3 or a 4. Between a 3 and a 4. And that was not what I wanted to hear. I was like, I just really want this to keep going faster. I was really hoping that he would just, I was just so anxious to get him out. But everything was still going good. There wasn't any concerns. Contractions were still bearable. I'd say they were, pain-wise, they were probably like a 7 or an 8. Maybe. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I didn't watch TV with Harper or Hudson when I was in labor with them. I really wanted the distraction, so I had them turn on TV and we watched HGTV all morning. Like, I'm pretty sure the TV was still on when he was being birthed. I'm not even joking you. But we watched HGTV all morning, and it was, I want to say it was like House Hunters or something like that. It was like House Hunters, the beach version, and it was like all morning long. It was the same show all morning long. We talked about it. We were talking about the shows all through my contractions, and it was so funny. Unfortunately, my doctor was not there on this Friday. She had the day off. I think her and her family went on a little vacation, but that was okay. So I had a different doctor, the on-call doctor, I guess, for the day. And he came in and checked on me about 10, broke my water, and that's when things really started, like, really got, like, that definitely got the ball rolling. After he broke my water, I'm not even joking you, my contractions, like, got so much more painful. They were still between 2 and 5 minutes apart. Every once in a while, I'd have, like, 3 or 4 contractions right in a row, which is so not cool. Like, it's just like waves. You have the contraction, and then it just seems to be dying down, and then it goes again, and you're just like, oh my gosh, come on. And then it goes again, and you're like, seriously? Just give me a break. You're trying to breathe through them, and they're like, relax, and you're like, I'm trying to, but this kid's trying to rip his way out of me, and I could be totally getting all of these times wrong. I was slightly delirious from no sleep, but they checked me about every 2 hours, and I was finally at a 5 or a 6. Okay, you guys? And I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, it's taking so long. So long. And my mom was like, just remember, those are the hardest ones to get through, and it'll go quickly from here. And I was just like, I just want it to be done. I'm so tired. And they asked if I wanted any pain meds, and I was like, no, it's still fine. Like, I'm still doing fine. My goal was to not get the epidural unless I really needed it. And by the time I was at a 6, I was like, I'm so close. I'm so close. Let's just keep pushing through. I decided to take a bath. They say that usually helps with contractions. It did not help with my contractions at all. I had so many contractions while I was just trying to sit in this tub and relax, and did not help at all. Sat on the birthing ball again for a little while. Oh, I tried this thing called, I don't even remember, a peanut ball? I honestly don't remember what it was called, but it was in like the shape of a peanut, so it might have been called the peanut ball. But basically it was like this weird shaped ball thing that you stuck between your legs, and you laid on your side, and then you're supposed to switch sides, but it just wasn't very comfortable for me. It's supposed to help open everything up, and it probably did work. I don't know. But after my bath, I really needed something to eat. I could just feel my energy going way, way, way down. And with each contraction, I was just getting more and more tired and a little bit more irritable. Well, okay, probably a lot more irritable. I don't know. But I just knew I was going to lose my focus if I didn't get some food in me. And my mom was able to convince them to give me 2 crackers. So I ate 1 saltine cracker, and after my bath, and I think that really helped to push me through and to keep going. After the bath and sitting on the birthing ball for a little bit, I got back into bed. I was finally like, okay, I need something to help me relax. Just whatever you can give me, I need something, because if I have many, many more hours of this, I just don't think that I can do it. And at about 1 o'clock, they gave me something to relax my body. I don't even remember what it was called. But basically what my body did, like, I could still feel every contraction. And by this point, the nurse asked me what my pain level was. And I seriously wanted to say 15. Like, they were so bad. Every hour they got worse and worse. And I kept thinking that, wow, this is the worst they can possibly get. And then somehow they would get even worse. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And about 1 o'clock when she asked before she gave me the pain meds, I was seriously going to say 15 because it was so bad. And I had already told her that I was at a 7 or 8 when we first got there. So I was like, I'm running out of numbers. But it's so much more worse than what it was before. And she did a really good job encouraging me. But the pain meds that they gave me, the best way that I can describe it would be like when I went to the dentist and they give you laughy gas, and it just makes your whole body just kind of like, not necessarily tingly, but like I definitely felt floaty. Except for my uterus. I felt like that was 10 million pounds. But the rest of my body felt really nice. And that was at about 1 o'clock, I'd say. And my mom jokingly, the doctor had just been in, and she jokingly said, I'll see you in a half hour. And I feel like that's about how long that drug lasted. And it felt so great. I'm pretty sure I was able to fall asleep in between contractions, which definitely not the best sleep. But I was able to just stay relaxed, stay focused, and really just breathed through each contraction. And I'm not even joking you, as soon as the pain meds wore off, I was like, this baby's coming. The nurse had stayed in the room, and I told the nurse, and I was like, he's coming, I have to push. And she was like, don't push yet, we'll call the doctor. And I was like, no, he's coming, I have to push. And within 30 seconds, there was like 3 extra people in the room. And another nurse had come in and was like, don't push. And I was like, I have to push. And I don't think I was quite that assertive, but because I was contracting and I was trying not to push, but he was coming whether we liked it or not. And they paged the doctor like 3 more times, like, get here now. They hardly had the bed. They had started to take the bed apart, and I was like, he's coming. I put my legs on they finally flipped the leg things up, and I had one foot on and the other foot couldn't find the other spot, but I was like, he's coming out. And one of the nurses put her hands on his head because he was already crowning. And he was just making his way into the world, whether we whether we were ready or not. And I was so ready to have him, and everybody was moving as quickly as they possibly could. And the doctor came in the room, and they have it written down that he came in the room at 1:50, and at 1:51 Hayden was born. And it was the greatest thing. It was so weird to finally be able to feel it, I guess you could say, because I had an epidural with both Harper and Hudson, and it was just so great. And he was so easy. Like, okay, so a couple weeks before he was born, I had somebody come up to me at church and say, she said, I hope he just slides right out for your sake. And I just kind of chuckled at it. I laughed. I thought it was funny, and I thought it was very nice of her to say. And you guys, he just slid right out. The doctor barely had time to catch him. They didn't even have the bed completely taken apart, and my mom was just praying that he wouldn't fall on the floor, but he came right out. They put him right on my chest. Like, I think I only pushed like once or twice and he was out, you guys. It was so crazy. Like, oh my gosh. Put him right on my chest. He hardly cried. He had the widest eyes. As soon as his eyes opened, they were just wide and they didn't shut for like 45 minutes after he was born. And he was just so calm. I was calm. And it was absolutely amazing. So great. The doctor, after I delivered my placenta, the doctor was like, "Did you want to keep this?" And I was like, "Heck no." And you guys, that thing's huge. I was so not expecting that. I mean, I knew that the placenta was big, but it was a lot bigger than I imagined it. But Hayden was born. He weighed 7 pounds, 3 ounces, 19 inches long. So he is officially my smallest baby and has earned the nickname Peanut. He's just a dream, you guys, and we are so thankful that he's finally here. He has been a champ, dealing with his older siblings who want to hold him every second of every day. They want to give him hugs, they want to give him kisses, and everything has been going so great. We've just really been enjoying this time. Ask me again in 3 weeks how we're doing, and I'm sure it's going to change. But right now we are in the, I'm going to call it the baby moon phase. It's absolutely, he's just a dream. He's been doing great. It's like, I don't know, we just hopped right back into the swing of things, I don't know, with another baby. We left the hospital 24 hours later because Tim's family was still here, and honestly, healing and everything has been so, like, so great. I feel really, really good. I didn't tear. Everything is just going so smooth. And I think it's honestly because I did not get the epidural. I really regretted that. I want to say from between 6 and 10 centimeters, I really regretted my choice not to get the epidural. But I wouldn't change it. It was really, like, it was a really great experience, and I'm really glad that I pushed through and that I had the support that I did to continue to just breathe and try and be relaxed as best that I could through it all. And yeah, it's been great. Can you say hi, everybody? Can you say hi? Say hi, everyone. He's definitely one of my kids. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please consider liking and subscribing and sticking around to be on this journey with us. We love you guys. Bye.
You must remember this, a kiss is still a kiss. You must remember this, a kiss is still a kiss.
We're going home.
You must remember this.